What's up, guys? So happy Thanksgiving, first of all. Today is Thanksgiving Day 2019. And figured this would be a perfect opportunity to discuss a certain concept that I think is very relevant. And I'm going to use the character of Lamar Jackson to describe this concept. Now, Lamar Jackson, hopefully you are aware of who Lamar Jackson is. I mean, that's probably the main reason anybody clicked this video. I'm gonna write something, Lamar Jackson, the real reason he's so good, something like that. You know, I'm trying to attract, some football fans out here. So he's a trending character today. He's just out there kicking ass quarterback. Baltimore Ravens, breaking records and stuff. 22 years old, kicking butt out there, right? So, I'm not a big football fan. I mean, I like football, but I just don't watch a lot of it. Watch a lot of basketball. I like betting on sports, so I watch a lot of sports, but definitely watch a lot more basketball than football. But a friend of mine, he's been following Lamar Jackson since his college days, and he's kind of feeling me. He's like, "Yo, Lamar Jackson, he breaking records." We always discuss sports and try to give each other good bets and stuff. And he started telling me about his mom. He said that his mom was like the one who trained him to be a quarterback when he was young, and then he just said, that's a good woman. That's a good mother right there. We talk about stuff like that, me and my friend. And so I just look it up today, I'm thinking, hey, today's Thanksgiving Day, and it got me thinking of this concept that I like to call Thankless Thursday. And it's basically a day to commemorate, show love for people who have maybe done positive things in your life that might, not be so obvious, and that might sometimes not get the things that it deserves, But apparently Lamar Jackson, he takes it upon himself quite often to thank his mother for his success. And he's fully aware of how influential she's been in his life, and coming to the point that he's at right now. And so I just I look it up. Okay, let's look up Lamar Jackson's mom. Let's learn about this woman, right? And because my friend mentioned it, right? So I look it up. I find out a little bit more about her, right? So apparently Lamar Jackson's father died when he was about 8 years old, and she had to step up, and I think his grandma died too at the same day or something like that. And so that woman had to step up and basically, raise her son. I don't know how many children she had, but I think he had a brother. Lamar Jackson had a brother, at least. And she had to step up and, raise her sons, right? And apparently she's done a great job because Lamar Jackson is now breaking records in the NFL and is on pace to become the MVP this year. So what is the real secret to Lamar Jackson's success? Okay, first of all, you gotta be gifted in some way. That boy's running fast. He is QB accuracy. He knows what he's doing. He has athletic tendencies and just basic ability. Okay, first of all, but so that's primary. You gotta have that. If you want to be an athlete or something, you gotta have that. If you want to be a physicist, you gotta have some mental acuity, stuff like that. You gotta have, this is the basics. But what I think is so crucial to Lamar Jackson's success is the fact that his mother, when he was young, identified his strengths and probably weaknesses as well, and helped develop those strengths over the years. I was just reading an interview from Lamar Jackson, And the way he described it, he said that, his mom basically had a vision of his career before he was even thinking about it. Do you see what that is right there? Okay, so take this similar concept. Actually, one of my favorite people in history is Nikola Tesla. And he is actually the reason for a lot of the electronics we have, a lot of things we have in this modern world. And in his autobiography, he describes the influence that his parents had at a very young age. His dad would do like mental exercises with him, try to get him to like recite entire paragraphs from, books, try to do things like read each other's thoughts and guess each other's thoughts, stuff like that. And his mom apparently was a strong character and, just taught him like basic fortitude and stuff like that. And those things, kind of invested into children, have major payouts. If Nikola Tesla's parents didn't do what they did, we would not have had a Nikola Tesla. We would not have had everything that Nikola Tesla created. You see what I'm saying? We would not have had this modern world if it wasn't for what Nikola Tesla's parents did. Do you see what I'm saying? That cannot be overstated. That is a major thing in life. It is huge. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm kind of just aware of this concept, okay? I know how really, easily influenced young people are. I'm just aware of this. I'm just like, my sister had a kid about 8 years ago. He's now 8 years old. And I remember when he was like little baby. I'm looking at him, I'm thinking of him like this little blank canvas. I'm like, we could turn this little baby into anything. We could put whatever we want in front of him. He does have his natural aptitudes, his natural interest in this and that. But generally speaking, as long as it's within that range, and that was a pretty wide range, he's a little just baby exploring the world, right? Within that range, which means a lot of different things, we could have put a lot of different things in front of him and kind of like steered his life in certain directions. You see what I'm saying? I saw he's just a blank slate, And it's the same with almost any other child. Nothing's different. Every child is basically a blank slate. And you have the opportunity to shape them into almost whatever you want. Just like Lamar Jackson said, his mother had a vision of his career before he even had it as a thought. She had a whole vision, and now she's his manager. He went to the NFL draft without an agent. He just went with his mom, and he got signed to a team, and instead of playing quarterback, they try to put him on like a punt return because he's fast. You know what I'm saying? I saw him run. He is fast. And his mom called up the team coach or something, the staff, and was like, nah, we're not going to do that, She knows what she wanted for her son. And guess what? Now he's out there breaking records. He's probably about to be you might call him a phenom at this point. Who knows? If he keeps it up, he probably is going to be a Hall of Famer or something, He is out there breaking records. You know what I mean? Like, clearly his mom did something right. And I suggest everybody look at that woman and say, what did she do to make her son so? And some people are going to try to say, oh, it's just Lamar Jackson. He has, good genes, this and that. He can run fast. I know. Like I said, you have to have basic aptitude, but a lot of people run fast. You know what I mean? I can run kind of fast, not too fast, but a lot of people have certain gifts, but quite often those gifts are left, unutilized. You know what I mean? If it wasn't for Lamar Jackson's mom, he would not be the Lamar Jackson we know today. He who knows what he might be doing. He might be having all these athletic gifts that are going toward nothing. You see what I'm saying? And there's so many people like that. I know this. I know a lot of people that are athletic. I know people that are smart. You know what I mean? Who are just kind of wasting away. At a certain point as an adult, you can make choices for yourself and this and that. But I definitely think it's helpful as an adult to a child to be directing that child's path from a young age, into a path with a lot of potential, a lot of room for growth. And, you're like the mastermind of your child's life. You know what I mean? Like you can direct them and they won't even know it. And before they know it, they're going to be on a path to success. You know what I mean? Just like Lamar Jackson said, his mom had a vision for his career before he was even aware of it. Lamar Jackson didn't decide this stuff. His mom decided for him. His mom put him on that path. His mom was training with him out in the backyard. Apparently his mom's pretty athletic too. It's good genes part of it, sure. But I'm telling you, his mom was the mastermind that turned Lamar Jackson into the Lamar Jackson that we know today. And that cannot be overlooked, should not be overlooked, because it is so significant. Without Nikola Tesla's parents, we would not have a lot of the technology we have today. We would not have the same world we have today if it wasn't for Nikola Tesla's mom and dad. And he explains this. He knows, as an adult, looking back, he understood. He's like, look, that's why he mentioned in the autobiography, because he knew it was important. You know what I mean? He knows that was significant in his development. That's why he mentioned it, because he's trying to show other people, He was basically trying to lay out the important stuff that he thought was significant in his development to try to give other people a similar, path, or just at least an idea of how he came to figure so much stuff out. Nikola Tesla was a genius, so it is what it is. And so yeah, man, just understand the power of being a mastermind for your child's success. You know what I mean? Or just any child's success. Just being an adult and how you have a greater perception of the world. You know how the world works, stuff like that. Little child, he just learned it. You can direct him. He doesn't even know you're directing him. You can change the whole trajectory of his life. He won't even know you're doing it. And you can literally put him on a path. He doesn't even really know you're doing it. He might figure it out later, but in the meantime, he doesn't even know you're doing it. And you can put these children on paths of success. That should not be overlooked. Thankless Thursday. Recognize Lamar Jackson's bomb. I'm out.